students, welcome to SKH Life Explorer. In today's video, we will be learning about recording and posting of trade discount and cash discount. So remember, we are still on our topic journal and ledger. So let's start. So trade discount is the reduction on the list price of an item given by supplier to the consumer. When you go to supermarket, you see the leaflets or banners there. Any item is offered by the supermarket at 10% trade discount, which means if you will buy item from them, they will give you at 10% trade discount. So that discount is called trade discount. You need to remember one thing: trade discount is calculated, applied, but not recorded separately. We will not record trade discount as a separate account. I'll show you an example. For example, bought goods from Mr. Alex for 1000 at 10% trade discount. So if we will record that transaction in journal, so I'll just put a date here. So in this transaction, we are buying goods from Mr. Alex. So we know that there are two accounts involved in that. So the first account is purchases and the second account is Mr. Alex account. So we are buying something from him for 1000, but the discount is given, that is 10%. So it means that 10% of 1000 is 100. So we are buying something from Mr. Alex for 900 that we have to pay him. So if you look at that transaction, in this transaction, I'll just add a narration: bought goods at 10% discount. So you can see that I calculated discount, I applied discount here, but I did not record it as a different account. So if I just post this transaction into ledger, so I have two ledgers here, purchases ledger and here Mr. Alex ledger. So first of all, purchases account is debit, the date will come here, and the reason is Mr. Alex, the amount is 900. So I'm not writing 1000 minus discount. So I'll just write the amount after deducting the discount. And in Mr. Alex account, I'll put the entry. So purchases will come here as the purchases. The reason, that's why Mr. Alex is credit for 900. So students, this is how we record the transaction of trade discount. So we can see one more example for sales. So in this transaction, we are selling goods to Mr. Ahmed for 5000, and this time we are giving him the discount 10%. So we know the transaction sales is our income, so income will be recorded on credit side. So 10% of 5000 is 500, so the remaining amount is 4500. So I will record that transaction with 4500, and Mr. Ahmed will be debit because Mr. Ahmed is our trade receivable. Trade receivable is our asset, so increase in asset is always recorded on debit side. So you saw in both transactions, I calculated the discount, I applied the discount, but I did not record it on in my journal. So I'll just add narration: sold goods to Mr. Ahmed at 10% trade discount. So okay, so students, this is how we record the trade discount in our journal, and same we will post it in our ledgers as well. So sales account is credit with 4500, and the date will come here. The reason is Mr. Ahmad, and in the Mr. Ahmad's account, so I'll create this ledger for Mr. Ahmad. So Mr. Ahmad is debit for us with 4500, and the reason is sales. and I'll put the date here if there is any date in the transaction. So students, this is how we record the transactions. So if you can try to record the transaction directly into the ledger, so you don't need to create the journal. Now students, let's move to the second part, which is the cash discount. So basically, cash discount is offered by seller to buyer. Why the seller will give discount to buyer? Because when we buy something on credit or we sell something on credit, we always make a promise to our supplier that we will pay him that amount on a due date, or maybe our customer can make a promise with us that he will pay us on a specific date. But if we want to receive money quicker, we can offer our customers some discount, or maybe our supplier can offer us some discount, and that discount is called cash discount. So just a simple way to remember that: the discount which is given or received at the time of payment or receipt. So this is how we call it. So the first is discount allowed. So this is discount that we give to our customer. So it is treated as an expense. And the second one is discount received. So this discount we receive from our supplier, and this is treated as an income. So I'll show you that how to record this the both in journal entry as well as in the ledger. So I'll just go to the first question. So you see that we owe Mr. Alex 900 as per the first transaction. So I'll just take it one step ahead. So for example, now we paid Mr. Alex by check and we received 5% discount. So this is how we record the transaction first in journal. So I'll put date here. So before paying this, you can see here, Mr. Alex was our liability for 900. So now we are paying him. So Mr. Alex will not be our liability anymore. So I will just put 900 on debit side. So I will debit Mr. Alex with full amount. Now we are paying him by check. So now we need to calculate the amount that we are paying him after deducting the discount. So the discount is 900 multiplied by 5 divided by 100. So the discount is 45. So this discount we are receiving. So if we are receiving the discount, this is called discount received, and discount received is considered our income. So income is always credit. So it's mean if we are getting discount of 45, so how much we are paying to Mr. Alex? So we are paying Mr. Alex 855 by check. So it means our bank account is credit. So students, there can be some transaction where we may have more than one debit or one credit, although the both sides should be equal. So you can see debit side is with 900 and credit side is also with 900, but in the credit side there are two accounts involved. So this transaction, this entry is called compound entry. So compound entry is an entry which may involve more than two accounts. So we call it compound entry. So you can see here I have done this in journal. So let's do it in our ledger. So first of all, Mr. Alex is debit by 900, and there are two reasons for it. The first reason is discount received and second reason is bank. So I'll go back to Mr. Alex account. So I will just put Mr. Alex is debit because bank has contributed 855 and the 45 is contributed for discount. So if you can see that Mr. Alex account is closed here. So I will just close this ledger. So which means we don't owe anything to Mr. Alex anymore. So you can see I have closed the account. Now I'll just go and I'll just record this transaction in our further two ledgers. So the first one is bank. So the money is going out 855 and the reason is here Mr. Alex. So I will just write it on the credit side as bank is credit, and the second account is discount received. So discount received account, here the discount received is credit by 45 and the reason is Mr. Alex. So this is how we record these transaction of cash discount in our books. So let's do one more example. So in this example, we sold goods to Mr. Ahmad. So Mr. Ahmad owe us 4,500 as per this transaction. You can see here. So now I'll take you one step further. So here we are receiving check from Mr. Ahmad after giving him 10% discount. So let's do this transaction first. So as Mr. Ahmad was our customer, our receivable, but once he will pay us by check, he will not be our asset anymore. So I will just write it him on the credit side. Now he is paying us money. He is not paying us 4,500, but he is paying us the amount after discount. So 4,000 multiplied by 10 divided by 100. So the discount is 450. So I will write here discount allowed, because we are giving this discount and that discount is our expense. So it means that how much money we are receiving from Mr. Alex? We are receiving, I'm sorry, Mr. Ahmad, 4050. So this is the money we are receiving, and we have given him discount of 450. So here we can write the narration. We can simply write payment received after 10% discount. You can write narration the way you think this can express your entry. So let's do this transaction in our ledger now. So first of all, I'll go to this transaction. So in this transaction, Mr. Ahmad's account is closed. So I'll go here. So Mr. Ahmad is credited by 4,500, but there are two reasons, 450 and 4,050. So I will just close the account of Mr. Ahmad first here. The first account is closed because he paid us bank by check 4,050, and then we gave him the discount. So I will write here discount allowed, which is 450. So this account you can see is closed. So this is also called zero balance ledger. So this account is closed. So now what we have to do, we have to record this transaction into our bank account. So here we are receiving money. So we don't need to create a separate bank account here. So I'll just take you to the bank account that we already had here. So in this account, we are receiving 4,050 on a specific date, and the reason is Mr. Ahmad, because I told you we do not repeat the ledgers. If we have opened one ledger, so next time we don't have to create it again. So I have written there. Now, one small thing is left, which is the discount. So guys, these two discounts are treated separately. So this is our discount allowed. So which we have given. So it is on the debit side, 450, and the reason is Mr. Ahmad on a specific date. So this entry is also called compound entry because it involves more than two accounts. So it's normal, an entry can have more than two accounts, but the both sides of the entry should be equal, 4,500 and 4,500. So debit should always equal to credit. So students, that's it for this one. In the next topic, we will be learning further how to create trial balance, but make sure you practice good for ledgers, because if your journal and ledgers are correct, your trial balance will be correct as well. Otherwise, there will be problems. But I will be teaching you, if there is any problem, how we can catch that problem and resolve that problem. But do not forget to subscribe and like. This is all effort I am doing it for you. Thank you very much. Take care and goodbye.